But remember, you can't heal where you got sick. And it's really important to recognize that. So what does can't always heal where you get sick? I mean, what are we really talking about? Well, it's kind of simple because we're talking about healing from emotional, psychological wounds that often requires leaving places, people, or situations that contributed or even caused the pain in the first place. Tried to get over a cold, but you stayed in like a freezing room with a blanket. No matter what, you just couldn't get better, right? No matter what you do. So the same thing happens when you're trying to heal from emotional pain or your mental health difficulties and struggles. You can't heal when you're in the same place or around the same people that hurt you. Now today we're going to break down the saying, you can't heal where you got sick. And this is something that I heard from a client of mine, and I learned so much from my clients. And when she said that, it really stuck with me. And I've been thinking about it and processing it, so I decided to make this video. And we're going to explain how this idea works when it comes to your mental health. We'll look at different examples to show why sometimes we need to step away from certain environments or relationships in order to heal. First, I want to talk about toxic environments. Now, sometimes the very places or relationships that cause the emotional pain can keep you from healing because they keep bringing up the same hurt and the same pain. And imagine someone who develops anxiety because they're in an abusive relationship, for example. Even if they want to get better, staying in that relationship keeps them anxious. And it's completely understandable. It's that anxiety response, that defensive response. And because the same hurt keeps happening, it's hard to grow beyond it. And so they're reminded of that pain every day. Now, let me give you a specific example. Let's say you're always stressed because of arguments at home. No matter how much you try to stay calm, the constant fighting makes it impossible to relax, right? You can't because you're always waiting for that other shoe to drop, that other issue, that other problem, that other argument. And the stress won't go away if you're always surrounded by it and what's causing it and driving it. And that's why some people find a new peaceful environment. And that isn't always easy because finding those other peaceful environments, and this could be like a friend's house or even talking with a teacher or a mental health provider or whomever it may be, so that you can start to heal. And it can be really hard because I think sometimes we have this conceptualization that as soon as I get out of that anxiety-provoking environment, the toxic environment, then my brain and body will just be like, yeah, this is fine. And I'll just stay cool, but it doesn't do that, right? We have to shed our skin. It's like when a snake sheds its skin, right? It takes time. It's a process for that snake. Well, it's a process for us too. We have to shed that toxic environment, and it takes time and patience and a lot of energy. Just because we're in a better environment doesn't mean that our brain and body is just going to embrace it. I want you to recognize that. I want you to be on top of that because absolutely, and sometimes people, because they expect that better environment, things are going to be better, and then they feel that dissonance. They're like, well, I mean, if I'm going to feel that dissonance anyway, I might as well go back to what I know. And that's what we've talked about before, that unhealthy comfort zone. And a comfort zone doesn't mean that it's healthy or good. It's just what you're comfortable in. Now let's talk next about trauma triggers. In some situations, certain places or people can remind you of past trauma. Now this is called a trigger. Now, I also have a video, which I'll put at the end of this video, on emotional buttons. Now there's triggers and emotional buttons. So triggers are more like pet peeves, right? That kind of set you off and may get you frustrated and things like that. There are more intense activators that I call emotional buttons. And these are things that could be people, could be circumstances, could be a smell, could be whatever, maybe a phrase or whatever, but it triggers a deeper emotional reaction. It also activates perhaps a memory, a fear, a doubt, a sense of shame, guilt, whatever it is. And that is an emotional button. Now, these trauma triggers, that it brings up all the bad memories or feelings you've been trying to deal with. And if you stay in that same environment, that is the trauma trigger or emotional button, it's like your mind is constantly being reminded by the trauma, and it can really be hard to move on when you stay within it. Now, Let's just imagine that, and I hope this never happens, but that you're in a car accident. And now you feel scared every time you see a certain intersection. Every time you pass it, your heart races and you feel like you're reliving the same accident. It's a flashback. Now, in this case, taking a different route might help you avoid those feelings and start healing without that constant reminder of the trauma. And that's why it can be of great benefit that we grow beyond our trauma and our issue when we're healing outside of those intensive reminders and circumstances that caused it. Now, let's also talk about cognitive rewiring. Cognitive rewiring, so when you stay in the same environment that caused you pain, your brain can get stuck like in a cycle of negative thinking. And the more time you spend in that place, the harder it is to see things from a new perspective. Removing yourself from that environment can help you start thinking in healthier, more positive ways. For example, if you think of someone who always feels like sad and down at work because they're constantly being picked on, right, by their coworkers, because there are bosses and coworkers that are bullies. Absolutely. They start to believe that something is wrong with them because they hear it so often. We're adaptive creatures as human beings, and we can adapt to the negative just as well as we can adapt to a positive. Now, but if you switch perhaps to a different job or a different department in your organization, you find a new group of friends, and they might start seeing themselves in a more positive light. You start to see yourself in a more positive way because you're outside of that cycle. You're breaking free from the cycle of that negative thinking, of that bullying, of that shaming. So we have to break outside of where you got sick. And in this case, it's certainly that sense of internalized shame, and you allow yourself to cognitively rewire it because you're giving yourself time to think differently within a different environment, surrounded by different people. And over time, when you go from a maladaptive environment to an adaptive one, and it takes time, but when you go to an adaptive one, your brain will rewire. It just takes time to do it. And a lot of us have trouble with the patience doing that, and I totally get it. But stay the course. Stay the course. So important. Now let's talk about when there's lack of support. Now sometimes the people around us don't understand what we're going through, or they aren't supportive of our healing process. They might even make things worse by dismissing our feelings or encouraging those old bad habits. And we see this a lot, particularly in those with drug addiction and alcoholism who get clean. Because what happens is, right, so they go somewhere and they get clean and they're being resistant to drugs and alcohol. But then they go home back to that same environment. But because individuals that are using drugs or going back to the environment, sometimes you could be directly or indirectly encouraged to use because that's the role that you fell into. And it doesn't mean that these people are wanting you to be addicted, that they are wanting you to be an addict, right? It doesn't always mean that. But what's important to recognize is that they're going to treat you based upon the role that they understand that you operate in, which could be alcoholic, drug addict. When you work outside of that, it takes time to do it differently, and healing often requires finding new support systems, like friends, sometimes even changing our contact methods with family members and surrounding ourselves with people that can actually encourage our growth. And, an additional example could be like you're trying to quit a bad habit. Let's say smoking, perfect example, right? But your friends keep encouraging you to do it, and they keep smoking around you. And it's hard to quit when you're surrounded by people who don't support your goals, right? They're not supporting you abstaining from smoking. That's smoking cessation, right? They're not encouraging because they're sitting around you and they're huffing and puffing and smoking and all that other stuff. And what sometimes you need to do is find those friends that have healthier habits that match your new habits. And that can be really hard. But sometimes we outgrow our friends and the people in our life that are more maladaptive. And we have to allow more adaptive people into our life that can help encourage us on our healing journey, so to speak, so that we can have various and different opportunities to help us grow and make the most out of the life that we're living. Now, the last thing I want to talk about, this is being stuck in dysfunction. Now, I see this a lot in my clients that when we first start working together, there's a lot of concern or fear about changing their unhealthy patterns. And this can be because they're so used to those old, unhealthy, maladaptive beliefs, behaviors, and patterns. And within those dysfunctional environments that get created, right, that there are patterns of unhealthy behaviors that are difficult to break. And because of that, whether it's negative influence, toxic habits, or harmful routines, being stuck in these spaces, right, in these environments with these folks makes it challenging and makes it really hard to grow beyond it. And it's like imagining that you're in a relationship where both partners rely on unhealthy coping mechanisms. This could be like constant arguing, substance abuse, or emotional manipulation. Now, even if you recognize the need for change, it's hard to break the cycle when the relationship itself encourages these behaviors. It's really hard to break free. When you're on the hamster wheel, it's hard to get off it. But once you get off it, as challenging as it is, because that hamster wheel can be really enticing, right? Particularly if you're a hamster, but you know it's not good for you. But the longer you stay on the hamster wheel, you can say, oh yeah, we're going to work on our arguing, we're going to work on our arguing. Yet you continue to argue without looking at what those inciting incidents are, for example. Or if there's substance abuse, what the substance abuse problems are, but you continue to use. So to truly heal and grow, sometimes we got to step away from the dysfunction and finding a healthier environment, whether it's through, could be counseling, could be setting boundaries, or even leaving the relationship in some cases may be necessary for you to really progress and do things differently. And these are hard things to do. But remember, you can't heal where you got sick. And it's really important to recognize that. So what does can't always heal where you get sick? I mean, what are we really talking about? Well, it's kind of simple because we're talking about healing from emotional or psychological wounds that often requires leaving places, people, or situations that contributed or even caused the pain in the first place. Whether it's a toxic environment, a place filled with trauma triggers or emotional buttons, or even where there isn't any support. Moving forward to healthier spaces and environments and friendships and people around you can make all the difference in your progress from maladaptive to adaptive. And that's what this is all about. That's what this channel is all about. Healing is absolutely possible, but sometimes it means finding a new environment that gives you room and a chance to grow. So I hope this was helpful. Check out this video on emotional buttons, and I'll see you next time. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.